Clean, beautiful coal. Clean, beautiful coal. We love clean, beautiful coal, don't we, Doug?
President Trump recently brought together industry, lawmakers, and some tribal leaders to celebrate the return of coal, or, as he might put it, ending the war on coal. A lot of history here. I was thinking about Nicole Horseherder. She lives on Black Mesa on the Navajo Nation, not far from the Peabody Mine, or where it used to be. Horseherder founded Tó Nizhóní Ání, or Sacred Water Speaks, as an organization that works to protect aquifers and streams from decades of coal extraction and industrial waste. Mark Trahant here, and this is Breaking History. Before we go on, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button, share this video, and we love to read your comments.
I'm Nicole Horseherder. Yat a Diné Bilagana Bashichin, just Dashito Bilagana Dashinale. I work for an organization called Tó Nizhóní Ání, which we translate to Sacred Water Speaks. And we work on transition issues for the Navajo Nation. We are big supporters of solar and wind. We are directed by the water sources here on Navajo. We take all our direction, our guidance from the water. We work to protect it. That's our number one goal, and helps us make the decisions that we're making for our organization and our people. Well, we're here on Black Mesa, out in a place called Sebikinatsele, and so that's about 25 miles south of the Peabody Western coal mine leases here on Black Mesa. Both the Kayenta mine and the Black Mesa mine, both now shut down, but about 65,000 acres at one time, and has had a very destructive history for us.
So it got out the journey, pencil, dig it out at the house, to what ability, but other Ekito says the Pahagi, it after has out, we are the tree. I got out at the house, that's all what I thought. Now so. John Lee are the legend, Others on that legend, they had the Others in lad, unless land the Hannes hit out with Lizena, only that Lizena. I had it has the cost of that Lizena happens the cost. So deep in the same that I see, yeah, he. I caught no yard, so if the Ghana, no yard.
On the one hand, one mine was using groundwater to push coal to Laughlin, Nevada for the Mojave Generating Station. And then the Kayenta mine was sending coal on conveyor belts to Navajo Generating Station in Page, Arizona. So, 1,500 megawatts at Mojave Generating Station, now closed since 2005. 2,250 megawatts at Navajo Generating Station, now closed since 2019. So here on Black Mesa, the coal operation was tapped into the groundwater. Our groundwater, I think it's really important to say that our groundwater here on Black Mesa is about 2,000 to 3,000 feet beneath the surface. So it's very deep. So that means it's very expensive to bring water to the surface. But the coal mine has been able to do that. In fact, they've drilled about 8 wells total and pumped from those wells 365 days a year for about 35 years. The problem with that is not just the depletion of the groundwater, but the depressurization of the aquifers. And that's the one thing that I think, as we're talking about coal and the problems with coal, those are some really specific things that we oftentimes fail to mention is the hydrologic impact of coal, especially on Black Mesa.
One thing that many people don't realize is how invested some tribes are in coal. The Crow Nation in Montana has some 9 billion tons of coal that could be dug up. And the Navajo Nation is the third largest producer of coal in the United States with its company, Navajo Transitional Energy. In fact, the Navajo Nation Council was formed in 1923 because the United States wanted a reliable partner to negotiate leases of coal, oil, and gas. Navajo President Boo Nygren was at the White House during the National Coal Council meeting in January.
I wrote an op-ed when we first heard about Nygren traveling to Washington, D.C. to meet with Trump and coal miners, plant workers, I think it was. And I can't remember if they were from Wyoming or some other coal mine in that vicinity. I understand that that's something that especially mine workers and plant workers are concerned about. It's understandable that they want to save their jobs, but honestly, we just need my point of view and the things that I have told my community, because they did ask me about these things, like what's Nygren doing in DC and what's going to happen to us? Are we going to get? Are they going to start the mine back up? And I just had to pause and reiterate to the people not to panic, but to think about, to understand a couple of things. And that is that it takes a while to put a power plant back up. It doesn't happen overnight. The cost of coal continues to increase. The power generated by coal continues to increase also. It's very labor intensive, this type of energy. Unfortunately, for the coal miners and the plant workers, this is the reality of this type of energy. It brought a lot of firm energy that was needed by, populate communities elsewhere for many years. But taking all those things into consideration, it's going to be very difficult to bring coal back, and to bring coal back in a way where there's going to be some profit. It's just going to be hard to do. But I think the thing that is like the nail in the coffin is the buyers. Nobody wants to buy coal. Everybody understands that that's expensive. And I think the one clear indicator of that when NGS was coming down is the Central Arizona Project. The Central Arizona Project pushed back on the utility owners of NGS and said, we can buy our energy on the market way less, way cheaper than we're buying it from NGS. So, and of course, NGS was built for the purpose of supplying energy to CAP. And here we are, 40 years later, and CAP just said, this is too expensive for me. This is essentially the reason that the owners of NGS decided to shut down. This scenario has been repeated time and time again across coal plants all across the nation. I mean, continued education is the key, and you got to continue to push back and continue to talk about the things that are important, because you know that in the other ear, industry will continue to talk to tribal leaders and continue to tell them the narrative that they would like them to believe, and that is continued fossil fuel or continued experimental technology, things that have not been properly vetted yet, that are still in the testing stages, that just these kinds of proposed projects sometimes just all they do is take time away from communities that need a transition, communities that need the newest, most efficient technology now. Instead, we've got our tribal leaders tied up in testing technology that will never work, like carbon capture and sequestration. That's a technology that has been tested for a long, long time, but they continue to throw money at it and want to test it some more, and it's just a waste of time. I think we all know that industry is not here for the community. Industry is not here to protect resources. Industry is not here to make sure that the air is clean and the water is pure. They're here for their shareholders. and their pockets.
The war on coal has two elements. It's a dirty fuel. It's one of the biggest drivers of air pollution and climate change on the planet. But coal is also more expensive than it used to be. Wind and solar are now significantly cheaper, even without the subsidies, than energy that's produced from coal. Here on Black Mesa, there's no question that solar is cheaper and more efficient.
Yeah, unfortunately, solar is not getting the kind of support and is not getting the popularity that it could be and should be getting. Homes like mine are 100% powered by solar, and it's cheap, it's efficient. It teaches you how to manage your energy need. It's easy to use. The unit is built for a rural area like mine. There's no it supplies all our need efficiently. But once again, in my experience, it's industry that is kind of pushing that narrative that solar might be inefficient. So there's problems with solar. I need, one of the things, like I always remind community members who ask me about it, look, there's going to be some setbacks and there's going to be some things to work out with every single energy type there. There's going to be kinks that need to be worked out, but it gets efficient over time. It gets better over time. Solar has definitely gotten it's the cutting edge technology right now. Coupled with battery storage, it's very efficient energy source and reliable at that. So this is a unit built by Isaacs through the Grand Canyon Trust, I hear. And it's a nice little unit. It's got the 6 arrays, flatbed trailer. It's got the battery storage on the side, 2 boxes here, battery storage. Yeah.
Fantastic. How long can the batteries go?
I have not had to replace one single battery yet. And Brett's been out here at least twice since he's built this unit. And we've had this unit, probably close to 20 years now.
Wow.
Yeah, it's just amazing. And I have no issues with it whatsoever. And powers all my electricity needs. And contrary to what people say, this unit with the batteries, it can last through 2 cloudy days. And out here, I have not ever experienced a third cloudy day. 2 days is usually max, and then the sun will always come out after that. So it just continues to power and recharge the battery, as soon as the sun comes out. And I've never had an outage before.
As I drive away, I'm thinking about this so-called war on coal. We know that we will need more energy in a digital world. That's not going to happen with antiquated technology. The only way forward might be the kind of gridless future that we see here. Thanks for watching. Please remember to comment, share, and subscribe. And let me know what you think about energy or anything else we talk about on this channel. I'm Mark Trahant, and this is Breaking History.